3D printed Nintendo Switch 2 model debuted at CES 2025. Nintendo comments the model is not official. The annual Consumer Electronics Show, CES, had electronics company Genki show off a mock-up of the much-anticipated Nintendo Switch 2. The model bases itself off previous rumors, such as large size comparable to a Steam Deck OLED, and the inclusion of magnets to attach Joy-Cons to the main console rather than a slide-and-lock function. Nintendo went on to deny the model was in any way official, with Game Rant reporting, based off knowledge from French journalist Julien Tilloch, that Nintendo lawyers privately contacted Genki following the showcase. Tilloch's source expressed belief that no legal blowback will occur. The Verge's interview with Genki's CEO Eddie Tsai, who refused to share his source, says the Joy-Cons can be used similarly to a mouse, thanks to an optical sensor and an attachment. As the only confirmation from Nintendo on the functions of their new Switch being backwards compatible with games from the previous iteration, and no specifications on the hardware, it still remains unknown if any of the rumored or leaked details will mirror the final product. Now, shortly afterwards, there was an update on Monday, where multiple sources, including podcaster Nate the Hate and Video Games Chronicle, VGC, report that Nintendo will potentially reveal the Nintendo Switch 2 this upcoming Thursday. A showcase will reportedly occur in late February or early March. There was also, Nate the Hate was also saying how it seems as though Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be on the platform, and there's also rumors abound that Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be on this new Switch.
Oh, that'd be a great place to play 7 Remake. There's also lots of talk, again, I think from Nate the Hate, many Xbox titles are coming to Switch 2 as well as PlayStation here within the next calendar year. Those titles being Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, the Halo Master Chief Collection, and Gears of War Ultimate Edition, the first game, which all of that makes sense. Where do you want to go first with here? Because there have been Nintendo Switch 2 leaks abroad, like just the last 2 weeks, we're just getting one every day. There was one that I'm sorry if I missed it in your breakdown there. There's going to be a C button on there, but it's not like a capture button. It's a cast button, and it'll just remotely cast the image to the TV, so you can still play with the Switch undocked, but it'll be on the TV.
I did not hear that rumor. As a matter of fact, it's the fact that Genki releasing the model, they're implying that it's, at least somewhat official, not confirmed yet.
Yeah.
But it was, I think the company was called Kill Switch last year or earlier in late 2023. I can't remember the exact time. Brought out a carry-on case that was supposedly for the Switch model.
Yeah.
And it was based off of some insider knowledge that it seems like this is also based off of. It seems to, I think they mentioned it kind of seemed like it would fit that carrying case, this new model.
Yeah.
So,
well, even the image you have here, I've seen this image a bunch of times from a number of different sources. We're at the point now where if there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
This is probably the Switch 2, and just everybody knows about it now. So, I think in terms of Nintendo responding to it, of course they're going to respond to it. They definitely said, it was definitely like an email from a lawyer saying, "Motherfucker, you've been NDA'd to shit. Why the fuck are you talking about this?" But there's no point in chasing down legal action because 95% of people are not hip to this. It's only the ones who are really, really paying attention who are paying attention. And 2, if the rumors are true that they are announcing it later this week, which would kind of kill any hypothetical futures that we could live in, then what's the point in chasing it for being a couple days early, right? And especially because more people are going to see whatever trailer they release or whatever announcement they release than who will have seen these leaks or these continued, people not being able to keep their mouths shut things. So I bring it to you, Connor. Is the Switch 2 announcement as imminent as Nate the Hate is saying? And in what form are we getting this announcement?
Well, Nintendo always does its kind of like direct moments where they just all of a sudden release some kind of video. So to that, I feel like they would have already had something made, a thorough, detailed, explanation of all the functions it has, maybe announcing some early video games, and then just being able to send that out whenever they deem fit to do so. I feel like it is very likely because since we're now getting to a point where we're seeing models of the damn thing, it might be good just to say, hey, here's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's coming later this year. You already knew that. We'll do some more detailed explanations later on, but at least here it is. Stop making mock-ups of our fucking console. So
let's get in control of this narrative here.
Exactly. Because Nintendo, they're protective of their stuff, to say the least.
As they should be.
Yeah. Some say overwhelmingly
a little bit too much sometimes, but yeah,
overzealous.
Now, it's also worth saying, I saw another leak from today, I think also from Nate the Hate. Nate the Hate's kind of the guy on this one, right? Where it was said that they're announcing this week, showcase either in February or in March to kind of break it all down, with a release date of somewhere in May or June, launching with Mario Kart 9. Later in the holiday season, we get our 3D Mario. Is what the rumors are now. That's what the talk of the town is now. And that's kind of, if you look at how they announced the first Switch, it was a trailer, I want to say late 2016, and then their whole presentation in February, and then the console launched in March or April, something like that. I think it was March. And so I think they're going to follow a similar pattern to that. I just don't know if they're going to follow the same pattern, because the Switch was a wholly new concept, right? You had to sell that to the general public. Well, now the general public knows what the Switch is. So are we getting that announcement trailer again like we did the first time? I think obviously it worked the first time, so why not do it again, right? I'm talking the trailer, of course, where, you saw the Switch, being put in the dock, getting pulled out, someone taking it to a party,
colorful,
the Joy-Cons off, playing it with your friends on a balcony party or whatever, things like that. I could totally see them doing that verbatim, step by step again. I think that's fine. I just hope the presentation that comes after that trailer is better produced. The presentation the first time was not a well-produced presentation. And yeah, I think pretty obvious what is going to be shown right away. It is worth noting, in that first trailer, we got the first few seconds of Super Mario Odyssey in that trailer.
Yeah.
So very likely that they're going to do that again. And again, Mario Odyssey launched in October. So totally makes sense that they would kind of follow that same pattern. I think the big premiere title is, of course, Mario Kart 9. Now, Mario Kart 8 did have a heavy presence in the initial Switch trailer, but keen-eyed viewers could spot some differences that showed that, hey, they were upgrading or updating Mario Kart 8 to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, most notably having 2 items in your inventory as opposed to 1 and a couple of other smaller things. But that's beside the point. Here, I think it's like, hey, here's Mario Kart 9. Like, it's here. Come buy your Switch with your new Mario Kart. And then, a month or two later, they're going to break it down. They're going to announce the new 3D Mario. They're going to show off all of the updates that you can get with Tears of the Kingdom. We're going to get release dates for Metro Prime 4. And then we're going to get the price and pre-order at that later date. And then, I don't know. Does May or June feel right to you? I think it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, that seems reasonable.
Summertime, right before that summer. Get the kids, keep the kids inside.
Yeah. they do seem to like summer. It's a good month for Nintendo.
Well, I think it also makes sense because you're about to go on vacations. You need something to keep the kid busy in the car, on the drive to wherever, or on the flight or whatever. So here's the Switch 2 for you, and before you take your big long vacation.
And those kinds of ideas of when to release it during that period makes sense, because at the end of the day, Nintendo knows its place. It knows it's a household name. All they need to do is announce it in whatever way they decide to do that, and people will come running. I think most of what we're going to see is
the messaging also needs to be clear.
It does.
Because they've fumbled that bag before, specifically with the Wii U, they fumbled the messaging bag.
But that's why it's incredibly, I think, easier in this case, because it's based off of something everybody knows how it works now.
Yep.
Any changes they're going to have are going to be easily recognizable when compared to the old one, such as the Joy-Cons, and the mouse function, of course, will be pretty easy to understand. Oh, it's like a little mouse you can use.
Do you believe that?
Yes. There's something called the Lenovo Legion that has something similar, and apparently it's kind of like based off of that. So
yeah, that's it's a Steam Deck, but not a Steam Deck.
Yeah. It's a weird little device, but
that'd be interesting.
It certainly would be.
So with that, do you think we're pushing for more third-party stuff? We're trying to break off a piece of that PC market.
That's the thing. Third-party and PC market in the sense of they want to expand the kinds of games you can play on Switch.
Yeah.
So like that rumor of the Final Fantasy VII remake. and the fact that we don't have hardware specifications implies that that's going to be probably a bigger focus because, since games have gotten so advanced at this point, and the Switch and Nintendo titles in general, consoles in general, have always known to kind of lag behind that kind of, the current technological state that games are usually in. I feel like they kind of want to close that gap a little bit more to be more high fidelity in the sense it's kind of competing with the Switch, the Steam Decks and the PlayStation Portals, the trend to take already home consoles and turn them more portable. They still need to occupy that space of, well, we're still here and we're still the kings. Not just because we have titles that you can only get through us, but because we look good while doing so. And, that's, I think, really, really need to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo's never cared about the technology side. They've always been behind the curve on that side of things, but they have always, of course, been innovators in just how you play video games. But they obviously revolutionized what a console can be with the Switch. No need to do that again with a Switch 2. So, yeah, let's close that technology gap a little bit. Let's have some heavy hitters on there. Skyrim was in the trailer for the first Switch. Skyrim on Switch, right? What is the equivalent to that marketing beat of, guys, you can play this game on a Switch on the go?
Baldur's Gate 3 on Switch.
That is on my list. I think that game might be a little too intensive in terms of processing power for anything Nintendo's going to do. But it would also make sense as to why we have the mouse thing is premiere for games like Baldur's Gate 3, which would be fantastic. I think it's Elden Ring. I think they show 15 seconds of Elden Ring on Switch being played on Switch too, and working in that sense. I don't think there's any other game that really makes sense to put on there. Red Dead Redemption 2 maybe, but why?
Because part of the whole bit is it looks super, super pretty.
Yeah.
And no matter how good the Switch is going to be in terms of advancement in tech, it's not going to be the way you would get it on any other form of console.
Yeah. My only thing against Elden Ring is still relatively new, and Skyrim, by the time the Switch came around, was kind of old.
It was, yeah.
But we had like 2 or 3 more years on it at that point, right? There's a chance, but like, what is in that realm of what Skyrim was back then now? We already have The Witcher 3 on Switch 1, so it's not that, right? So it would just have to be Elden Ring, right? Like, I don't see another big, hey, this is a big showcase title that you want to play on the go.
If they're even thinking about that, I mean,
they should be if they want to be competitive. Now, of course, they always compete with themselves, so that's a separate thing. But they are dealing with not only the family gamer or the younger kids, but they are competing and trying to get the attention of more hardcore gamers. They always have been. They've always had something. That's why Skyrim was there. That's why
online kind of got more implemented.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why they are competing in that subscription service space. Not as heavily as the other guys are, but they're competing. They're in there, and they arguably have a really good deal, right? So they want to keep doing that. So I think you get something like that. What's it called?
Switch 2.
I think it's. I agree. I think
everyone calls it that already.
Listen, man, you have the opportunity to get cute and do things like the Super Switch, or I saw somebody say, man, they should call it.
Not bad.
They should call it the Switch and have 2 eyes in it.
No.
Yeah, that's terrible. But it's
Super
cute.
Switch is fine.
It's cute. The Switch is cute because you got the Roman numeral 2, and then also Wii is in there, so it works on a couple of different layers. It's cute. It's cute. Don't do that.
I'm not going to say it like that each time.
Switch.
Yeah. Kill myself.
No, yeah. Call it the Switch 2. Let's sell some units.
No. Better name.
Yeah?
Switch 2.0.
Don't do that. No, just Switch with a giant 2 on it. I think that's all you need. The Joy-Cons. Magnetic instead of the rail slide and click thing. You got to change the iconic snap now, right? Because it's going to be a different noise.
Probably. Well, it's magnets, so it might be like nice clacking magnets. Like some cooler
clunk.
Probably more.
But then you got to change. You still got to change the sound.
I think it's going to be different. I think that's going to be one of the ways they set it apart. Why not?
Instead of the up and down vertical click, it's a like left and right horizontal click, maybe. And you show the screen on it or something.
I mean, because visually it's obviously look from the model that we're seeing and most likely what it's going to be like. It's going to look very similar to what a Switch already is.
Yeah.
So they're going to have some kind of difference besides just the color and the bigger size.
Agreed.
And I think magnets, that's going to be the next snappy noise. I don't know if that picked
clunk.
up.
A clunk. A clunk. No.
That'd be good. I like that.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Finally, Connor, the last question I have on this topic. I think we're getting a base model probably about $350, right? And it's going to be just a better Switch 2. The screen is going to be a regular LED screen, or what do you even call them?
OLED?
No, you're not. I don't think you're getting OLED on the base model thing. I think this is my question to you: are they going to do this? I think they're going to have a secondary model with an OLED screen, $450.
Those scumbags.
Hey, man, people want it. They already have an OLED Switch 1. Why don't we have an OLED Switch 2 at launch? I understand that's not the one you want to. You want to keep the price down to stay competitive and sell the 100 million units that you always sell, right? But you can't do that off of $450. You can with $350 though. But you've also got tech connoisseurs who are sick of you being so far behind the times. There's no way they don't hear the criticism of you are behind the times all the time, right? So ideally, to kind of quell those, you have a secondary model, $450 OLED screen. That makes sense to you?
It does, but I feel like they just won't do it.
They won't do it?
I think they're just going to focus on
wait
doing
another year
the
before
Switch.
they give us OLED again?
Hey, why not stagger it? You know, get
a
those
boost.
suckers that
Get a
buy the
boost.
first one,
But yeah,
and then
they're going to buy a second one.
The losers. That's what we call those guys, because they want money. Nintendo wants money at the end of the day.
But that OLED screen would be so nice, though.
But do they need to do that right now, or get better games out, more games out? Be their focus?
I think they can do both.
They could, but I don't think.
I mean, you're absolutely right. Sell us the base model. You already have the OLED in storage. It's just now we got to wait a year before we can buy that one. People are going to buy both. That makes sense too. I could see that coming, but I just think that's a very disappointing route to take.
We'll probably react to it live, or at least I will.
The trailer, the first announcement. Excuse me. We will. I can't get my digestion under control. We will react to that one live, or we'll have a reaction up on YouTube. So make sure you're subscribed to YouTube to see our reaction to that when it eventually comes. What is your hype factor for Switch 2?
Oh, I'm gonna get on screen when we do live stream of the announcement, and I'll pog face the entire time, so everybody knows how excited I am.
You're real excited, is what you're saying.
Very cool. Yeah. I'm looking forward to being able to get a new piece of tech because I love the Switch, but it's starting to show its age, and I want it to stay in a condition where it's not gonna be trash when the next one comes out, which is clearly what's going to happen. So I can have that off to the side, use it for maybe specific purposes, but then have my new console that I use as my main way to play Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And, I want Nintendo to be able to cement itself as not just a game that makes Nintendo titles, but also that kind of is a lower end way to play some of the new games, depending on how great their technological advancement. So, I'm very interested. I'm not like super excited to play it. I'm more excited for the games that are going to come from it than the Switch 2 itself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm over the moon excited. I cannot wait for the day that I can throw my first Switch into storage and never look at it again.
Disrespectful.
I listen, I loved the Switch when it came out. It was innovative. It was fantastic. I got to take my games on the go. But I'm sick of it, man. It's so far behind the times. It launched behind the times, and all the Joy-Con slides don't work anymore. My Joy-Cons pop off, and that interrupts gameplay all the time because they bring up the little menu of like, oh, you still playing? Connect your Joy-Cons. All the time that happens. It's so annoying. I've got scratches on it, dings and dinks on it that I don't know where it came from. There's a scratch on my screen that came from sliding the thing into the dock. I think the dock is a cheap piece of plastic. I don't like it. And yeah, I'm just sick of looking at a fuzzy image. The image is so fuzzy. I want a new UI, a new homepage for the Switch. I've always hated the OG homepage, which we've had the whole time. Yeah, I'm ready for new. I'm very much ready for new, and I'm very excited to get it. I want to play Tears of the Kingdom on a new Switch and have it run better, like all of these things. Yeah, I'm ready for new.